Hey everybody, Marcos Villegas here with Bernard Hopkins. Fight week, Canelo versus Chavez Jr. One of the most anticipated fights between two Mexicans in a very, very long time. But before I get to that, you did. But before I get to that, I haven't talked to you since your fight. So I want to know, how have you been and your thoughts now that you've had a few months since that fight with Joe?
Well, first of all, since I ran into Joe maybe once or twice at some events dealing with boxing, and you know, not only congratulate him but wished him well in his next fight, and I told Joe DeGuire, his promoter, come on man, you got to get him back in the ring. He got the momentum, so you take that momentum and you use it to your advantage. And looking forward to seeing him back in the ring. You know, whether it was Sergey Kovalev after the June fight with Ward, you know, if he wins or whatever. But I want to see him in there with a top light heavyweight contender soon, because he has talent, and I think he should take that momentum and go right into building his own legacy. I've been doing a lot. I've been doing ESPN. I've been doing, which I'm doing tomorrow night also for the third episode. Also with HBO, color commentating. I'll be coming up on two major fights that's going to be taking place very soon. We know one in June, the other one I'm waiting on. That's going to be really exciting, breaking that down from my perspective. And also working with Christian from HBO. Christian is really the producer or organizer when it comes to breaking down fights before the big fights come, which is, you know, it was Joshua and Klitschko the other day. I broke that down. They showed it on HBO prior to the fight being this past Saturday.
What a crazy fight, right?
Crazy fight. and my prediction looked very good. Like I'm not losing any type of leverage in my opinion. So long as you on the upside of making certain predictions or making certain calls, what can happen, what will happen, what might not happen, you know, that's a contest amongst my own ego and my own self. And also, you know, with HBO, of course, you know, color commentating with them as the talent, as the expert, along with my partner, colleague, Jim Lampley, and also Max Kellerman. I just mentioned 3 or 4 things that takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of preparation. It's not as difficult as boxing and training and being away from the family for months and sometimes weeks. But it still takes a lot of preparation. And like anything, you need preparations to be professional and also to be accurate and be on point, because that's what I'm used to, and that's what I take jobs in life and opportunities that way. I mean, that's just me. So I'm having a great time. I haven't even thought about, man, I retire, because it was something I was always motivated to do, is what I'm doing now when I was boxing. Maybe not as much. Golden Boy partners when I was boxing. Managing my career for just 1996, over 10 years. So I'm so used to juggling titles and responsibilies, even with family. I got so adjusted to it to the point if I don't have it, I'll be really agitating everybody at home or around me. So this is fit just like I've planned it. I am a planner, and everything is going to course.
So no more fire in the belly. Like you're at peace with it. There's no desire to want to get back in there.
No. I'm at. You know, I've been at peace with myself years ago. I've been at peace with myself. But I always wanted to push that envelope to the point where there's always a challenge to outdo what you did last interview, if I'm you, or last boxing match, or last business deal. There's something that strives certain people, whether they're athletes or not, to be able to still find the fire, as you said, in the belly, to be able to rise up when others, and justify will be, what else can you do other than win another championship? Win another championship. So, to me, it probably won't be understood by most people, but it'll be understood by the select that has that same DNA type of mentality. You know, the Michael Jordan, the Tiger Woods, the Magic Johnson, the greats in race car driving or Kentucky Derby or hockey. Anybody that done over and over and over and over what they've done in their job or sport, they can relate. They can relate because they have a history to relate because 5 rings, 6 rings, 4 rings in a sport that's so competitive. One injury can stop a football team from going to a Super Bowl if it's that right athlete, if it's that important piece in that puzzle, can offset the whole thing. So, I mean, I'm when I say overly blessed, extremely overly blessed. And then the flip side of it is that you take a guy that no one gave any chance in society to not only live a productive life as a citizen, above and beyond to become what I became, and still represented after 3 decades of fighting, and be called upon on one of the biggest, if not the biggest, TV network, information highway of the world, HBO. There's no reason for anyone to say luck or fortunate, blessed. You know, you understand me after 70-something fights in 3 decades. You know that's not normal. No disrespect, but you know to be hired amongst a giant network, to be able to spit and break down fights before the fight happens, which we call it the perfect execution show they form around me, to be able to break down a ward and cover off first fight and be accurate when it's over. Makes me look like a diamond in the rough, but no more in the rough. Out now. People seeing it like, wait a minute, we knew he was this, we knew he was that. So you pay attention. When you pay attention and you say, what have you been doing? You must have had the TV off, or you must have been in the boxing world from the outside saying, man, I thought B retired. From what? From what I do or from what I did? I have no degree of any college to be able to spit like that. That's talent, and it's blessed too. So when people see that unique qualities in people, they gravitate to it. They grab it and say, oh, how people misdiagnosed that? They wasn't paying attention. They were so stuck in themselves. They were so degree smart. You see where I put those words together? They were so degree smart. Well, I use the word degree smart. See what I'm saying? You know, that's like, you know, metaphors, right? That's what they call them. You know, rappers, they cut their words in half. All you gotta do is have a personality and understand how they're telling a story. And some of the words is not completed, but they enough for you to get it if you pay attention, understanding what they say. Oh, that was a good hook. They call it a hook. Oh, that was a good hook. Jay-Z did a good hook. So, you know, I'm a business man. You understand what they say? That was a hook. That was a hook on Jay. I'm a business, pause, man. That's different than saying that you something that you don't represent. And so we never really retired, but I retired from the ring. I retired from the physical. I'm 52 years old. I retired looking like this. No cuts. My eyes ain't looking crossed this way. No cuts, no patch of surgery. Skin is like a baby's bottom. That means I drink and eat the right things all the time. That means I sweat, which impurities are in. I get them out by working the organs inside to be faster, to pump more than walking around or laying on the couch with a remote control. So how am I doing as a retirement? Do it look like I'm in Miami, retired with a beer in my hand? No.
You know, quickly on an ending note, Bernard, you mentioned the perfect execution.
So I seem to be a little charming. I'm trying to get out of that charm, but
execute the fight for us. A lot of people tend to think that it's a fight that can end in knockout. A lot of people favoring Canelo because of the skills that he presents inside the ring. But how would you break it down and break it down for both fighters?
I'll break it down like I broke it down on HBO, and it will be shown again prior to the fight, days before the fight, which is 3 days. It will be a fight that both fighters have pride, as I mentioned on the podium. They have dignity and have heart, but they also have skill. And you have something that Chavez has something that Canelo don't have. He has to represent his father's legacy. I have a son, Bernard Hopkins III. I am Junior. Whether he fight or not, he inherit, they call it, he inherit the legacy. And if you become a fighter and you become a fighter that people know and you build your record yourself and you have some glinches here and glinches there, it all will be erased come May 6th if Chavez do something that most people is not giving him a chance of doing. And I don't know the percentage of it, but I don't see this fight being as wide as some might say because of his past. One thing about winning, especially in this country, people got short memories when you win. They forget about you quitting on the stool. They forget about you not coming out for this fight. They forget about you not being in shape. They forget about you not being this or not being that. We have short memories in this country. All you got to do is the right thing and win the right game or the right fight. Either way, it could be a game, team, or whatever. They'll forget that. One fight can clean up anything you've done, whether it's good or bad, whether you agree to disagree. But this fight will be fought tough. It will be fought hard. And the best of two, Chavez and Canelo, the best of those two talents, whoever makes more mistakes or whoever makes less mistakes than the other will pay a big price. That's how this fight going down. I do see this fight going into the later rounds, and I see Canelo forcing someone on that side, not Chavez, because I said his father's there, ringside. He won't quit this time, right? He won't be on the stool saying, I can't come out. You remember that fight, right? This won't happen, right? The corner will quit for him. That's my prediction. I want to get it right here. I say between 8 and 9.
8 and 9 rounds.
8 and 9 rounds.
Yeah?
Yeah, and we'll talk again.
Is it a dominant performance, you think?
A dominant performance? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's a dominant or not. If it's a dominant performance and you end him by 9, then it can't be so dominant. A dominant performance to me is you get him out there within 3 or 2. That's dominant. Yeah.
All right, Bernard, as always, thank you so much. It's great catching up with you. As always, I could talk with you for hours, to be honest. Here with Bernard Hopkins at Marcos Villegas in Las Vegas. Fight week, Canelo versus Chavez Jr. this Saturday, May 6th.